Shalom, this is Sister Tay.
And Sister Ebony.
And Sister T.
And welcome to the Rock. And
Happy first day. Thought we would show you, have a little conversation with you as I was adding clay to our outdoor wood stove just to fix it, repair it a little bit. The high heat causes it to crack, crumble, break apart eventually. So we're just adding some clay from the land with the help of my partner in crime here to pretty much create a strong foundation again, kind of molding the clay. And then wonderful Sister Ebony had a good idea about motability with sisterhood coming into marriage, maintaining their marriage. Yeah, that's what our topic is.
Yes, so she's adding the clay there, and the thought comes about motability with us wives and women in the faith and how we should be. Our master always talks about how a woman is supposed to be coming into a marriage and be as wives. And we also talk about us wives, me, Sister T, and Sister Taylor, also speak on, how us wives should be moldable, loving, building our husbands up, building his house. And so we just wanted to speak a little bit on what our thoughts are on motability as of, right now in this time and place. Me and Sister T has had a long time experience being married now. Now I'm going on 4 years with my master, and Sister Taylor here, newlywed, but she is coming in not as a lot of sisters we're finding are able to do in this time of age.
Right.
I mean, just to be real, she was a virgin coming in, marrying our master. So she would be, so to speak, the ideal wife. A virgin coming in. Our master speaks of how virgins are, they would come in as a blank slate, so to speak, not having, being tainted by, being with other men, having other information enter them before coming and getting married to their husband, and not having other information being entered into them that would affect their, hey, boys, and not having their ability to be moldable for their husbands, to be as their husbands would want them to be as wives, and being able to take in the husband's information to become the wives that they were, said they wanted to be for that man. So we just wanted to speak on, our thoughts on being moldable right now that Sister Tay's been married to our master for a good bit now, almost a year. So she has some good thoughts on it, and information that she can share. So Sister Tay coming in as a virgin wife. You believe, what was your perception on your moldability when you first got married to Master?
Based on all the conversations we had and him explaining to me the goal that every pretty much Hebrew Israelite man wants for a virgin wife, and it's like saying, oh, have it being moldable and being able to listen and fit and kind of adapt more easily than say a woman who has had other past experiences. I thought, past relationships. I thought, oh, okay, I can do that. So I thought, oh yeah, I'm super moldable, no problem. And then,
Lower your voices.
and then as time came on, and I was not willing to let go of certain things in the past, and so not even related to relationships like what other men taught me, but just because even though I didn't let anybody physically into me, I still lived in the world and was entered other ways by media, TVs, movies, articles, conversations with other women. All these things still entered into my mind, therefore my body, almost tainting that virginity and having him have to work harder in our relationship. So I am not the clean blank slate that he thought I was, but it could always be worse, but it's not as clean. So I still have a lot of work to do in getting out of those bad habits, should I say, of
Mindset.
yes, Ebony.
And sin.
And sin, yes,
Yes,
please,
things
sir.
that sin too.
And so those are still things that I have to work on. So even though I have I wasn't physically entered by a man, I still was. And it's interesting, he said something last night. He says, you seem like you've been with about 50 men. Yes, who are these men? And I'm like, and I'm just thinking, meditating on that comment was like, okay, I can see where he gets that from. Just because I have all these ideas and thoughts and opinions already. So that's something we had to work on. So even though, you can come and say, oh, I was a virgin when I married my husband, you still got to think on all the things you've done in the past. All the things that you still have allowed into your mindset and think on and then make it your own. Just be mindful. Remember, be humble about it. Very, very humble about it.
Okay. So yeah, so her coming in as a virgin is in the world, in the day and age that we live in, it is still different from how they lived, in the Bible, in the faith, and even in that day and age. I think it was just a different mindset, not this Western mindset, free thinking, or they were more doers. Then they didn't rely so much on their, how do you want to say, like intellectual or their own vain opinions and thought and theory and all these different things.
I think too, one thing our master talked to us about, is just learning the difference between, when you want to live the Bible, y'all had a people, he had a set apart, he had roles for each one of us. And by the day and age of us coming up, our group of our generation coming up, those roles have been all but gone, eroded. It's like it's been a thing of the past for the people who are raising us and what we've seen. So returning back to what the state that we should have been in, it's like, where's the example? What did this look like? I don't even think we know how to fathom what that example looked like. When you read in the Bible, it almost seems unimaginable. Like, how did they end up there? What way did they really think on a regular basis? Because sometimes you just get a synopsis of a story or an event. You just get a little synopsis of these people's lives, but you didn't get to see what they lived daily, what they thought daily, how they functioned daily, how they dealt with issues or problems. Nor do we have any older people, parents, mothers, generations, whatever, who could teach us that, because we don't even see it enough. And so when you're returning back, You know, he discusses how women were. We're like, where did that begin? How do you even get your mind there? How do you get your heart there? How do you walk that? What does that look like?
That's it. Yeah.
And then another thing is penetration, seed, information is such an interesting thing because they come in many forms. You know, some of us been we all been tainted by the form that's parents that starts off with in your home, television, media, music, you know, in that way. And then on top of that, if you've been with men outside of wedlock, now you've been tainted that way as well. And so we have so many different forms of information that's been put inside of us, one way or another. I mean, you have to really, where's the example of getting that out? Like, you're like, well, if I'm not supposed to think this thought, then what am I supposed to be thinking? And how do you do that regularly? No one taught us how to meet. You know, when you have these thoughts and you're changing it to a new thought, biblical thought, what do you do when you're met with this challenge or that challenge, you know? So I think we just have so many different things that has to be worked outside of us, and without instruction, without being taught and stuff like that, it's just not an easy thing to identify every avenue information was put inside of you, and then trying to get that out and put the new information inside and then walk that out. You know, that's become a thing. And, you know, I was thinking about that today. It's funny, Sister Taylor said, it sounds like you've been with 50 men, you know, according to the information put inside of us, but we have so many opinions and stuff because look at